Hey, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is Chris Maloney once again for CWN Recap. AEW All Out 2020 was presented last night on pay-per-view, as well as the buy-in was featured on YouTube and Fight for Free for an hour before that. You also had the red carpet specials that had taken place, and then there was something that happened on TNT down the States, but I didn't see it on TSN here in Canada. But anyways, it's one of those pay-per-views where the fallout from the pay-per-view, the news after, the day after the pay-per-view, so to speak, kind of outweighs the pay-per-view itself. I will go down the results as well as the news I am referring to. But if you didn't catch it last night, like I say, AEW All Out 2020 took place on pay-per-view. Like I said, Chris Maloney, CWN. You can check us out, cwnonline.ca, as well as YouTube for this premiere right here, but cwnonline.ca, and you can find any kind of show that I've done so far, news, results, any of the news that are happening, the fallout from AEW All Out 2020, of course. But I'll get into it now. So the buy-in featured two matches. The original match that was supposed to take place on it was Big Swole and Britt Baker. That got bumped. So if you notice when I did the prediction show, CWN Predicts, basically there were 9 matches announced. So I could only go with those 9 matches. And then all of a sudden they added Private Party and Dark Order, which was Alex Reynolds and John Silver. And they also added Joey Janela taking on Serpentico. And those 2 matches were on the buy-in, which meant Big Swole versus Britt Baker got moved to the show itself. So in saying that, the buy-in featured, your regular stuff. It was Shivani and Dasha, and I think Alex Abrahantes, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, were doing the show. And then on commentary, you had Excalibur, as well as Tony Schiavone for the buy-in show. But match number 1, Joey Janela defeated Serpentico by pinfall. You had Sonny Kiss with Janela. You had Dr. Luther with Serpentico. Good match, good opener. Kind of could have went either way. Serpentico is a multi-talented guy, so like I said, could have went either way. But Joey Janela comes out with the win on that one. So next match, Private Party defeats Dark Order by pinfall after hitting the gin and juice. Here's 2 guys who are multi-talented, but here's 2 guys, and when I'm referring to Private Party, by the way, but here's 2 other guys in the Dark Order. So Alex Reynolds and John Silver. I think I got those 2 names right. But anyways, tremendous athletes, future as far as maybe the TNT championship goes. If you ever see, almost WCW, but AEW present like a cruiserweight title or something like that. But just phenomenal match. Private Party with the win on that one. But another match that could have gone either way. So I taken those 2 matches and put them on the YouTube account just so I can get my predictions in on those. So I got those 2 right. So right now I'm 2 and 2, so batting 100. So then we go into the main show here. What do we got here? 9 matches in total take place. First match was Big Swole defeating Britt Baker by KO. This was taking place at Britt Baker's office. So it's kind of weird to see a wrestling match actually take place in a dental office, but that's how it did. Rebel was there, to back up Britt Baker, but it was funny. It's, kind of comedic, kind of cinematic match that had taken place at the dental office, but a lot of cool kind of spots taking place. Like I said, weird to see wrestling moves being taken or actually taking place, in a dental office. But the end of the match saw Big Swole. Two things actually. Number 1, Britt Baker had brought out a needle. She goes to attack Swole with it, but she ends up sticking herself instead. And the next thing you know, Swole has got her on the dental chair, and as she's got her in the dental chair, she takes the gas mask, so to speak, pops it over Britt Baker's face, and then is announced winner by KO. So kind of comedic, but it's interesting to see AEW doing cinematic matches. Next match was Young Bucks, represent with the T-shirt here, as you cannot see because of the banners, defeating Jurassic Express by pinfall after the BTE trigger on Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy has a hell of a future, as well as Luchasaurus. Big back and forth kind of match where could have kind of gone either way. With that being said, the Young Bucks, a lot more aggressive nowadays than they've ever been, which is kind of cool. You're seeing the mean side come out, from them. Like I said, this match could have gone either way, but the Young Bucks did become Young Bucks were victorious. And I'm stumbling my words over Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus there. So great match, though. Match number 3. Lance Archer wins the Casino Battle Royal by last eliminating Kingston. That's Eddie Kingston, by the way. Final 4 were Archer, the debuting Matt Sydal, who we'll get into in a second here, the Butcher of all guys, as well as Kingston. So a lot of guys in this that were named. One guy, I'm trying to think of his name. Big dude, though, lasted quite a few minutes in there. A newer guy. I'll have to look into that. But anyways, the end of the match, basically it come down to, like I said, Archer and Kingston. And so there's a whole big melee taking place, and they're trying to get Archer out of the match. I mean, I think Pentagon and Ray Phoenix were still trying to attack him, or Butcher Blade. Anyways, he's up on the ropes, and he's fighting Eddie Kingston, and they're basically on the outside of the ring. And like I said, I think Archer, or it might have been Kingston, up on the turnbuckles there. So Jake the Snake Roberts has the snake bag. Don't actually think there was a live snake in there, but has a snake bag. Takes it and basically starts throwing it in the face of Eddie Kingston, trying to get him to be eliminated, because apparently Eddie Kingston fears no man, but he fears snakes. So Jake the Snake was trying to get him out. Anyways, Archer eventually hits the win on that one, wins the Casino Battle Royal. Future championship match coming up for Lance Archer, which is absolutely phenomenal. Jake the Snake Roberts is looking old nowadays, but at least he's healthy, which is great. But like I said, with regards to Matt Sydal, and I didn't even see this, I just see this on the replay. So he comes out, he is number 21, the Joker, so to speak. He comes out, and there was rumor it was going to be Chris Hero, but they end up going with Matt Sydal. So he comes in, he's about to jump off the top rope at one point and has a scary fall. And I'm not sure if this happened right at the beginning, because like I said, there was a lot of smoke and I had to go back and watch the replay. But it looks like he was trying to do almost like a shooting star press. And before he could even, attempt the move, he slips on the ropes. It took a bad fall. Now, if you watch the replay, he was okay. He looks like just a botched wrestling spot. But anyways, he lasted the entire match. Like I said, final 4 for him. It'd be interesting to see if it's a one and done for Matt Sydal. Multi-talented guy. It's one of those guys who never seems to age. But he'd be great there as far as AEW goes. Next match of the night was the 4th match for the main card, and this is where it starts to get from one scary moment for Sydal into another scary moment. So Matt Hardy defeats Sammy Guevara by KO. That is in a Broken Rules match. So what happened there is basically they're fighting. At one point, Matt's looking for Sammy backstage, and Sammy shows up in the golf cart. You see Matt Hardy, it basically step to the side, and Sammy crashes the golf cart, and then the match is on. Well, these guys were up on a scissor lift, and they were fighting, and Matt, I think, went for the twist of fate, but Sammy blocked it. So Matt basically has his back, facing basically the ground about 10, 15 feet in the air, and Sammy goes and charges him. Well, there's a table set up below. Matt lands through the table, but his head unfortunately caught the concrete. So basically, it was a bad spot. I mean, you're falling 10 to 15 feet in the air, and all of a sudden you're supposed to hit a table. This table is supposed to break your fall, and it did, but it didn't take break the fall of his head. So biggest story coming into this, and I'll read what I just saw online just a couple moments ago, momentarily here. But anyways, long story short is they let Matt Hardy continue with the match. Sammy Guevara, no fault of his own. It wasn't his fault what had happened. It was just a missed spot. But the fact is, you want to protect your workers. So, Aubrey Edwards is there. She's doing the refereeing. She sits there and she, puts up the X symbol. And I think she put up the X symbol again, trying to get the doctor there. Excuse me. They take a look, and basically, it looks like the match is over. You see Sammy walk off. You see Matt Hardy get up and stumble, and the match is called off, and they go back to the announcers. Well, next thing you know, you see Matt Hardy go back into character mode, and he's calling for Sammy once again, to the point that they all of a sudden they're climbing up this racking system, much back in the days of Steve Blackman and who was it, Shane McMahon, not as high, but they go up in the air. Matt's basically concussed at this point, probably will not remember what took place, but still following script, so to speak. Climbs up this thing. He's in the middle of it, so if he's gonna fall, at least he's got something to hang on to. Sammy Guevara takes the spot, goes down below, falls into this box setup, so to speak. Matt Hardy gets the KO, and that is the end of the match. But the fact is, the match should not have continued. They should have left it at that. One of the big things I heard from just the internet, and I was on Twitter as the the show's taking place, was it was Matt Hardy's, if he had lost, that was it for AEW, so they didn't know what to do storyline, so that's why they let the match continue. Anyways, I think it's complete BS that the match continued. Here's a guy who, Matt Hardy has been in wrestling business for pretty much since his teenage years, and the fact is this should never have happened, that spot, but it did, but the match should never have continued. So this came in at just after 1 p.m. today. It is Sunday, just before supper time here, but this came in, like I said, 1 o'clock today. From F4WOnline.com. Matt Hardy still hospitalized with a concussion, according to his wife. Matt Hardy's wife, Rebe, gave an update on Hardy Sunday morning following a bump on concrete. Her husband took it AEW All Out, one that raised red flags as to how the organization handled letting him continue afterward. In a tweet at 8 a.m. Eastern Sunday, Rebe tweeted from her protected account, "They needed additional imaging done with his CT. He's still in the hospital, 1,000% concussion. Anyone with eyes could have told you that, though." And then she accompanied a video of the bump. And then basically, in reply to Orlando-based sports reporter John Albert, in which he questioned how AEW said Hardy cleared their concussion protocol, Rebe said, "Gee, I wonder, could it be the company tried to justify and protect itself from backlash to the family with no stake in this, who now has to deal with repercussions? I guess we'll never know." She later said her frustrations wasn't directed at Alba, but to those who are trying to be experts in a situation they aren't experts in. In his match with Sammy Guevara, Hardy was speared off a scissor lift, hit his head on the concrete floor as he missed the tables set up for the spot. After being checked by the doctor, he eventually was allowed to continue after several minutes. Decision later explained by Dr. Michael Sampson that caused much discussion afterward. Rebe tweeted Saturday night after the incident, "Let me be absolutely effing clear. There is nothing entertaining about a concussion. Shame on everyone in the GD building, so to speak." In the post-event media scrum, AEW President Tony Khan attempted to further explain that Sampson cleared Hardy after a concussion protocol test, and that Hardy couldn't have overruled the doctor. That's unique. That Hardy couldn't have overruled the doctor and continued to compete if Sampson didn't clear him. So, a lot of eyes, a lot of focus on the Matt Hardy situation today. Tony Khan is on the defense, obviously. It is his promotion. The doctor, what happened there, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what Matt Hardy has to say about the situation once he's healthy. But to me, complete, like I said, BS that he continued the match and that AEW gave him the permission to be able to do that. If you didn't see the show last night, definitely check it out. As far as the clips go on YouTube, check out Matt Sydal, and then check out, like I said, Matt Hardy and the spill that he took. And there's one that shows various, different replays and close-ups and stuff like that. And you can see Matt Hardy's, head smacking off the ground. And, it's tough to see. And, again, like his wife had said, concussed. But like I said, the news of the show is outweighing the show itself, which kind of sucks. But that is it on Matt Hardy there. And, have to stay tuned to find out when he's going to be healthy, what he's going to do about the situation, whether or not that was it for him. We'll have to wait and see. Going to the next match here, they followed up with Hikaru Shida, the AEW Women's World Champion, defeating Thunder Rosa, who is the NWA Women's World Champion, by pinfall. Hard-hitting match here. A lot of submission wrestling taking place. Shida is gifted, but Thunder Rosa is right up there as well to me. I mean, it's hard to see AEW losing their championship to an NWA talent, especially being the NWA champion. But you had that feel in the match. It could have gone either way. And these two I'd love to see, fight again. But yeah, Hikaru Shida by pinfall, defeating Thunder Rosa. Match number 6, Dustin, QT, Scorpio, and Matt Cardona defeat Dark Order by pinfall after Dustin pinned Cabana. The big story about this was Brody Lee chewing out Cabana post-match. That is something that we haven't seen. Since Cabana joined the Dark Order, it's been basically, he's been his right-hand man. But after what happened last night, and Cabana's taking the pinfall against Dustin, he got chewed out by Mr. Brody Lee. This sets up, of course, Dustin Rhodes, a challenge in Mr. Brody Lee for the TNT Championship at this point, and especially with the whole reference to Cody and where he is and when he's coming back. But Dustin being the big brother, is stepping up. So we will see Dustin Rhodes take on Mr. Brody Lee for the TNT Championship in the near future. It might have been announced for Wednesday, but I'm not 100% on that, so we'll have to check that out. Match number 7, FTR defeat Hangman Adam Page and Kenny Omega by pinfall to become the new AEW World Tag Team Champions after Wheeler pinned Page. And I'll read you the quote that was said. This is from AEW, the wrestling, their website there. That one miscue by Kenny certainly accidental, but Page could not get back into the game after getting hit by Kenny's knee. So Kenny Omega ends up accidentally hitting Hangman Page with a V-trigger. Jim Ross was the one who noted that. He also says Kenny grabbed a small table and returned it to the ring with it. It appeared he was contemplating hitting Page with it out of frustration. Kenny hurled it to the ground instead after thinking twice. And this was post-match, by the way. He abandoned Hangman Page in the ring. Kenny walked out of the arena with the Young Bucks. I'm done. Let's go. It's time for a clean break. Think about it. Omega said to the Young Bucks. Kenny got into the SUV, was chauffeured away without the Bucks. So a lot of tension going on. Hangman Page basically got knocked out. Lost the titles. Kenny Omega was frustrated, went to go take a table at him. And this table was similar to the ones they have in New Japan, the small little tiny tables. So nothing major, but again, Kenny post-match, was the one to kind of turn. So if anything at all, we'll probably see a feud between these two guys. I can't see them patching it up. I see the Elite going on their own as far as the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, that same trio that was part of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Hangman Page going on his own as a face, then becoming a heel group. And maybe we hopefully get to see the return of the real Kenny Omega, not the guy we've seen in AEW, but the guy that we, was putting on 5-star matches, PWI, number 1, as well as former IWGP heavyweight and junior heavyweight champion. So if that's the Omega that we're going to get to see because of this, it'll be great. I think Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega would be absolutely awesome to see. But yeah, FTR has now got the championships, which sets them up to go against the Young Bucks down the line. So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, we've got FTR now and the Young Bucks looking like it's going to happen. And then we got Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page looking like it's going to happen as well. So a great match, a lot of drama taking place. And then post-match with the, Kenny and the Bucks and the tension there, we'll have to wait and see come Wednesday. Match number 8, which was the semi-main event, Orange Cassidy defeats Chris Jericho by submerge. And what I mean by that is basically here was a match in the Mimosa Mayhem match that you could have got a pin or submission, or you could have put them in the gallons and gallons and gallons of mimosa that were set up ringside. Now, I thought it was going to be one big pit, much the same way WWE used to do like the mud, what do they call them, the mud wrestling matches or whatever the case. But the fact is, they had 2 of them. They had one on both sides of the ring, so it could have gone either way. But at the end of the match, all of a sudden, Jericho's, they're bouncing back and forth, and hands are going in this thing. And at one point, I think it was Orange Cassidy's, the back of his head had hit it, but in submerged, so to speak, but not enough to call off the match. It had to be the full body. So basically, what happens is Chris Jericho is, I think he's on the top rope, and then all of a sudden he ends up on the other side of it with his back towards the mimosa, so to speak. And Cassidy, I think, comes up and he's hitting the orange punch, so to speak. I think and next thing you know, I think he pushes him. And then anyway, long story short, Jericho ends up in the mimosa, full out back going towards it. There's pictures online. Jericho playing it up like the sport he is. But the fact is, like I said in the prediction show that I had done, there was no reason at all for Jericho to win this. So Orange Cassidy looks strong because of it. He beat Jericho twice. First ever AEW World Champion. So we'll have to wait and see where this, if it goes anywhere at all. I can't see the feud continuing. I don't think there's any reason for it, but it'll be interesting to see what they do with Jericho at this point and what they do with Orange Cassidy at this point. So, but like I said, Orange Cassidy with the win. Jericho lost last night, and then he, check it out. I haven't seen it yet, but Jericho did a live Saturday Night Special after the show last night, which I was like, what the heck? So the guy was, still performing after the performance that he put on the show. So check that out on YouTube. Just look for Saturday Night Special with Chris Jericho, episode number 21. So check that out. Last match. Oh, hold on. They announced AEW Full Gear 2020 was announced next, taking place Saturday, November 7th, 2020. So that is their next pay-per-view. So it'll be, another 2 months. But they had done, I guess, last year Full Gear was November as well. So they're keeping on that. Be interesting to see who's champion, who the champions are as far as the tag team division goes. But that is their next pay-per-view they've announced is AEW Full Gear, taking place Saturday, November 7th, 2020. Last match of the night, main event, Jon Moxley against MJF. Wardlow was ringside. Paradigm Shift is banned in this match, and it went not the way I predicted it would. And, no surprises really much other than, the unfortunate events as well as Matt Sydal. But the fact is, MJF got beat with the Paradigm Shift. So what happened is there was a little bit of confusion. All of a sudden, the diamond ring, so to speak, is tossed in by Wardlow. As the referee's distracted by that, MJF gets nailed by the Paradigm Shift behind the referee's back. So when the ref turns around, Moxley is pinning him. Mox pins him, and that is the end of that. Moxley is still champion, as you can see in the opening graphic there, and still. So as far as last night went, as far as champions go, Hikaru Shida retained, so she's still champ. FTR are new champs as far as the tag team division goes. Mr. Brody Lee, obviously still TNT champion. And then Jon Moxley is the current reigning and defending AEW champion. So, and again, like I said, Lance Archer has won the Casino Battle Royal, so he'll be one of the next challengers for Moxley. When I'm not sure if it's like a year or when he has to cash that in, but we'll be seeing Archer versus Moxley probably eventually soon. So that is it, guys. That is the recap for AEW All Out 2020. Like I said, unfortunate news about Matt Hardy. Matt Sydal seemed okay in the match, but Matt Hardy is a completely different story. So look for CWNonline.ca for updates as far as Matt Hardy goes when I've found the news and it's available to the public, as well as check out episode number 4 of CWN Weekly. We'll be talking more about Matt Hardy, gives you guys some updates. That'll be live this coming Thursday, which I believe is September the 10th. And that'll be 7 o'clock on YouTube, Facebook and Twitch as well. But that'll be a live show. So 7 o'clock this coming Thursday, episode number 4 of CWN Weekly. As you can see, scrolling on the bottom there, website is CWNonline.ca. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, so on. Before I leave, I'm going to do match of the night. So match of the night to me, Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Like I said, just a hard-hitting match. We're seeing the edge the Young Bucks start to come back. And like I said, this match could have gone either way. It'll be interesting when Jungle Boy finally gets a singles push to see what he can do with it. But yeah, he is the future of pro wrestling there. And coincidentally enough, I'd seen the David Arquette special a couple nights ago, and he was at the very end of it with Jungle Boy with David Arquette. So that was kind of cool. And he's been like a wrestling fan for like ever. And now he's gifted in doing what he's doing, and his craft is just becoming absolutely amazing as far as him honing his skills, so to speak. So it'll be interesting to see where Jungle Boy is a couple of years from now. So that is my match of the night: Young Bucks versus Jurassic Express. Wrestlers of the night, FTR. It's hard to say. You can't go against them. Fact is, they come in to AEW, they come in strong. They've been strongly booked. They've been strong since they debut. And then last night, they got even stronger winning those AEW World Tag Team Championships. So, like I said, they are wrestlers of the night for me. So, CWN Recap, AEW All Out 2020. This has been your show. So, if you've watched or listened, thank you very much. You can check me out at Chris Maloney, CWN, on Twitter, as well as Instagram. You can follow me there, as well as you know how to follow the show, cwnonline.ca. And you'll see all the episodes I've done, as well as all the news that has taken place in the wrestling world, as well as mixed martial arts as well. But like I said, guys, coming up this coming Thursday will be episode number 4 of CWN Weekly, and they'll go live at 7 p.m. on Twitch, as well as Facebook Live and YouTube. But guys, if you haven't seen the show from last night, definitely go and check it out. If you haven't seen the footage of Matt Hardy, definitely go and check that out. But guys, it was scary, and hopefully he is well. And that is it. So we'll see everybody again this coming Thursday. And thank you for watching and listening. Like us, subscribe to us, and we'll see you again sometime soon. All right, take care, guys.